Let's be brutally honest for a second. If I handed you a textbook right now and told you to study for 3 hours straight, you'd probably want to throw it out the window, right? Society loves to push this narrative that this generation just suddenly woke up one day and decided to get lazy. But here's the harsh truth nobody wants to say out loud. Gen Z didn't lose their work ethic. They just did the math. They aren't just exhausted by dangerously smart algorithms built to trap their attention in an endless loop. They simply lost their tolerance for bad investments. Why would you spend 40 hours a week memorizing outdated textbooks from the pre-colonial days for a system that doesn't guarantee you a return on your investment? The answer is, you wouldn't. I call this the millennial warning. Gen Z watched the generation right above them, their older brothers and sisters, do exactly what society demanded. They studied late into the night, got the good grades, and took on thousands in debt to get that shiny degree. And what was the reward? Decades of debt and a brutal job market where entry level somehow requires 3 years of experience. Students today know the dark truth. You can do everything perfectly, get the expensive degree, and still spend the next 15 years living paycheck to paycheck. Not because you didn't grind, but because the cost of living is completely out of control. The social contract didn't just bend, it completely broke. When survival is barely affordable, it totally kills the motivation to even try. And let's be real, this anxiety didn't just magically appear in college. Gen Z grew up with intense helicopter parenting, pushed by a toxic, competitive atmosphere into a brutal race to be the absolute best at everything since kindergarten. By the time they are actually supposed to care about their future, they are already completely exhausted and burnt out. They aren't refusing to learn. They are just refusing to play a game where they are guaranteed to lose. Think about it. The way we study in schools and colleges hasn't really changed in 100 years. It's the exact same setup. For decades, schools have pushed this idea of just-in-case learning. You are forced to sit there and memorize hundreds of random facts just in case they show up on a midterm, or just in case a boss asks you about them 5 years down the line. But when the economy feels rigged, studying theory for hours on end doesn't feel like education anymore. For a lot of people, the entire system just feels like a scam. The old system treats information like it's scarce, like you have to lock it inside your brain right now or you'll lose it forever. But for Gen Z, information is cheap. We have access to everything, all the time. Why would you spend 3 weeks memorizing a concept when you literally have a supercomputer and an AI assistant in your pocket that can give you the answer in 2 seconds? Instead of learning how to think, high schools just spoon-feed you exactly what to highlight and what to ignore. You aren't learning how to think, you're learning how to obey. And frankly, Gen Z is tired of playing along. This is the core shift. Gen Z has entirely replaced just-in-case memorization with just-in-time learning. They don't study to prepare for a hypothetical exam. They learn to solve a specific problem right in the exact moment they need it. Because the old route is failing, there is a massive shift happening right in front of us. Young people are looking at the $100,000 university price tag and saying, "No thanks." Instead, they are flooding into trade schools and apprenticeships where they can easily earn money while they train, getting real-world experience without a lifetime of crushing debt hanging over their heads. If they aren't learning a trade, they are building something of their own. Want to start an online business? Well, you don't sign up for a 4-month business management class. You start building the store, you break something, you watch a 5-minute tutorial, you fix it, and you keep moving. You have to remember, this generation grew up entirely in the digital age. They are wired. You have to remember, this generation grew up entirely in the digital age. They are wired for gamification and immediate feedback. You don't read a 100-page manual before playing a video game. You just press start, fail, adjust, and try again. That's exactly how they treat skill building now. It's active, it's highly practical, and it completely bypasses the traditional syllabus. So, if they aren't sitting in massive lecture halls, where is the learning actually happening? Welcome to the new classroom. We are living right in the middle of a micro-credential revolution. Why spend 4 years and 100 grand on a theory-heavy curriculum when you can spend 3 weeks getting a Google UX design or meta coding certificate? One puts you in lifelong debt, while the other actually gets you a job. Even the study groups look completely different now. The idea of learning alone in a silent library is dead. Today's students rely on Discord servers, hyper-niche subreddits, and creator communities. It's peer-to-peer, it's global, and it is infinitely faster than waiting for a professor to update a syllabus that was written 3 years ago. But here is the real kicker. We have officially entered the portfolio economy. Modern employers, the ones actually paying real money, increasingly do not care about the name of the school on your resume. They care about what you have actually built. A strong portfolio of real-world projects destroys a 4.0 GPA every single time. Which brings us to the one skill that Gen Z values far more than any university degree: meta-learning, or quite simply, the ability to learn how to learn. Think about how fast the world is moving right now. Because of artificial intelligence and rapid automation, hard technical skills now have an expiration date of about 2 to 3 years. A traditional university degree is a static piece of paper that proves you could memorize one specific set of information over a 4-year period. But in today's economy, that strategy is practically a death sentence for your career. Gen Z intuitively understands this. They aren't trying to master a single topic for the next 40 years. They are training themselves to become chameleons. They are learning how to look at an entirely new industry or technology, break it down, and completely master it in a matter of weeks. They aren't studying for a test anymore. They are training for an unpredictable future. So the next time someone tries to tell you that this generation is just lazy, entitled, or ruined by their screens, maybe send them this video. They aren't giving up on hard work. They are just giving up on a 100-year-old system that gave up on them first. They are totally exhausted by the crushing debt, the outdated teaching methods, and the promise of a future that simply doesn't exist anymore. They aren't stopping their education. They are just finding a new way to survive. And honestly, we should probably be taking notes. What do you guys think? With Gen Z abandoning the old system this quickly, do you think the traditional university is going to completely collapse in the next 10 years, or will it somehow adapt to survive? Drop your reality in the comments down below. I want to hear your stories.